Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Anel. I'm a nurse practitioner that specializes in weight loss, and I recently shared how I was able to lose 15 pounds in my calorie deficit. And honestly guys, one of the hardest things I had to do throughout my journey was completely revamp all the food I had in my fridge, because I wanted to make sure that all the things I had were not only high in protein, but I wanted to make sure that they were also low in calories. So I honestly became very habitual in the meals I ate and basically ate the same meals all the time, because I knew if I ate those meals, then I would be in a calorie deficit. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys some of the staples I kept in my fridge in regards to protein, carbs, fats, dairy, and some of the meals I was able to create with those staples to keep myself in a calorie deficit and help me lose the 15 pounds. Alright, so I'm going to start with protein first, since I feel like it's the most important macro. So for breakfast, I started substituting, instead of just regular egg, I started eating egg beaters, which is basically made of egg whites. Some people like to have their eggs with egg whites for like extra protein source, but I kind of got used to the egg whites and I actually didn't miss the taste of eggs or anything, so I kind of like these more after a while. And with the egg beaters, you measure them through tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons will equal 1 egg, 6 tablespoons will equal 2 eggs. And they were only 25 calories for 3 tablespoons, which is just 1 egg. And you would get 5 grams of protein. So I really like the macros once I switched over to egg beaters instead of just like the regular eggs, which is more like high in fat. You would still get the protein out of them, but I was looking for something that was low in calories, low in fat, and still high in protein. So I really like switching over to egg beaters once I got into my calorie deficit. And then another thing that I would have always in my breakfast was turkey bacon. So I would always get, I don't have the label on these, but I would always get the Applegate's turkey bacon, which I believe 1 slice was just 30 calories and 5 grams of protein. So the macros again were amazing, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the fat was just like 2.5, no more than 4 grams of fat. So again, low in fat, high in protein, and they were also low in calories. So for lunch, my meat staples were basically ground beef, chicken breast. I used to be more of a chicken thigh girl, but I would get the same amount of protein in a chicken breast, and it was lower in fat, lower in calories. So throughout my calorie deficit, I basically ate a lot of chicken breast throughout the whole time, and then sometimes I was substituted with fish or shrimp, but it was mainly chicken breast, to be honest. I kind of rotated the chicken breast throughout my own meals, and then sometimes when I would get tired of it, I would eat ground beef. So I would get this, I think the brand is called Verde, I think it's called. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but in Spanish it's Verde, so I'm calling it that. And this ground beef was a 93% lean, 7% fat. 4 ounces would just be 170 calories, so under 200. I think that's amazing. And you would get 23 grams of protein. So sometimes, like I said, I would use this when I would get tired of the chicken breast. This is the meat that I would have in my regular lunches. And then for dinner, around dinner time, I would start to get lazy. Like I was like, all right, I'm over it. Like, especially as like after work, I didn't really want to cook a meal. So I started using the brand Real Good. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on these on TikTok. Like some people really like the texture, other people don't. I really like them. They're quick, easy. I put them in the air fryer. And again, the macros on this Real Good chicken are awesome. Like they're only, for 4 ounces, you would get 120 calories, so way less than 200 calories, which is kind of was my aim throughout my whole calorie deficit. I would try to look for things that are 200 calories or under. So this was 120 calories, only 2 grams of fat, and you would get 22 grams of protein in them. And like I said, they were quick and easy. I would literally chop them up, put them in the air fryer, and I would toss them in a salad, and that would be my protein source for dinner. In regards to like protein extras, as I call them, I would have a protein shake, and I've tried a lot of protein shakes, and I'm always open to new brands and new supplements and whatever, but right now at this moment, I really like the brand My Protein. I've been liking that so far. I've been using their whey protein just because whey protein in general has the most complete protein source. Some people, whey does make them a little bloated, so I would recommend going more of like the vegan route. I've noticed that vegan protein doesn't make people as bloated as whey protein, but since I wanted the complete protein source, I usually drink whey protein. So this one is chocolate fudge. It has 25 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat, and only 130 calories for 1 scoop. And it actually really does taste good. It doesn't give me that chalky aftertaste that normal proteins shakes do give me. And then another protein extra that I would have, that I kind of considered it like a snack if I hadn't finished my protein goal for the day and I wanted a little extra protein to finish it off. These chomp sticks, again, saw them on TikTok. Amazing. I would have these as a little snack. These are the turkey ones. I know there's beef one as well, but I usually snack on these. And in regards to macros, again, amazing. 1.5 grams of total fat, 0 carbs, which I thought was amazing. I couldn't find any other kind of snack that had 0 carbs like that. And 5 grams of protein in just 1 stick. And it only had 35 calories per serving. So that in general just sums up my protein sources. So it would be like the turkey bacon, eggs for breakfast, then like I would rotate between fish, chicken breast, and ground beef for lunch, and then honestly real good chicken tenders were my go-to for dinner. And then just in between I would have either the chomp sticks or my protein shakes to kind of finish off my protein source for the day, so that way I knew I was meeting my protein goal for the entire day. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna move on to carbs. And I know people, when they think carbs, they think they're like the enemy when it comes to like calorie deficits and weight loss. But honestly, I ate carbs throughout my whole calorie deficit. I was still able to lose 15 pounds. And it's really all about tracking, making sure it fits within your calorie goal. And as long as you're still in a calorie deficit, carbs are not going to hurt you. So when it came to carbs, I really honestly though kept it very simple. Like I used the same carbs all the time. So for breakfast, it would either be like a slice of wheat toast or an English muffin. So this wheat toast that I would use was Nature's Own honey wheat toast. And this one slice would just be 80 calories and 15 grams of carbs. And it would have a little push of protein, so it had 3 grams of protein, which I liked. And it didn't even equal 1 gram of fat. It only had 0.5 grams of fat. So the macros in general for this toast was really, really good. And then for the English muffin, I would use that to switch it up with the wheat toast sometimes. And the English muffins, they only equal 150 calories. And it had 1 gram of fat, 28 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of protein. So these, I would switch them. Like I would have them like over the weekend or on like days where I just got tired of eating toast. And for my lunches, I normally would have either rice, and I know people, again, they think rice, calorie deficit, oh my God, I can't have rice throughout my whole journey. That's not true. I knew in the back of my hand that I only could have 1 cup of rice a day. So as long as I just kept it limited to that, I was good. So that's what I would normally do. And then sometimes I would switch my rice with potatoes. So these bag of potatoes called the Little Potato Company, I will buy these all the time at the supermarket. So like 5 potatoes in these bags would have 80 calories, 0 grams of fat, and 2 grams of protein. So again, I would mix them like if I wanted to, like a little potato bowl, or sometimes I would even add them to my salads to have a little bit of extra carb source, especially if I went to the gym, like I wanted a little bit of carbs after gym. This is something that I would put in. And honestly, that's kind of it. Those were my main carb sources throughout my whole calorie deficit. So it was literally the wheat toast, the English muffin, rice, and potatoes. And those I kind of just rotated throughout my meals and kept them tasty, and I was still able to have carbs and enjoy my meals while I was trying to lose weight as well. All right guys, so when it came to my healthy fats, those I really just kept very simple. Like I think the 2 things that I'm going to show you guys were really just like my main healthy fat sources throughout the day. So they would either be extra virgin olive oil, that was like my main healthy fat source that I would season my chicken or any of my meats with. And then the other fat source that I used that I really liked was this peanut butter brand called peanut butter fit. You guys just let me know in the comments if you guys are into this. I recently discovered it when I was in my calorie deficit, and I really liked it because not only was it a healthy fat source, but the macros were amazing. They only had 2 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of protein. So for me, it was just like a healthy fat source, but it was also like an added push to my protein goal. And it really does taste like peanut butter. I was so scared to buy it because I thought I was going to have like a weird aftertaste, or it wasn't really going to have that peanut butter taste as they advertised, but it really was true to the flavor. And I would just add these to like my yogurts or my shakes, and it would give it a nice nutty flavor that I was looking for. And those were my main 2 healthy fats. I'm not really into like nuts or avocados. I know it's crazy, but those aren't really my jam. So I just kept it simple to these fat sources when it came to my healthy fats. Lastly, I'm going to go over some of my dairy options throughout my calorie deficit. So one of the things that was constantly in rotation was almond milk, because that was quick and easy and it tasted good with my protein shakes. So my almond milk that I used to have was the Silk almond milk unsweetened vanilla. And the reason I did unsweetened was because I think the sweetened version has a little bit of more fat into it. So the macros on this were 2.5 grams of fat, 1 grams of carb, and 1 gram of protein, and only 30 calories in a cup. So again, these were constantly in rotation throughout my whole deficit because they just went well with my protein shakes. So another thing that was constantly in rotation as well were yogurts, because not only were they a good like dairy option, but they were also high in protein. And in the beginning of my calorie deficit, I really liked the Oikos brand, but after a while I kind of got tired of the taste and wanted to switch it up. So I did my research, and I'm really into now the ratio protein yogurt. I think it tastes a little bit sweeter, it's just a little bit tastier in my opinion. And the macros on this are still good. So they're 170 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, and it has 25 grams of protein, which won me over. And it's the reason I kind of kept with these, because I think these are a little bit higher. Like the one I used to buy from Oikos, the 000 one, were only 15 grams. So if I was having trouble finishing off my protein throughout the day, I would have one of these and I would be all set. Something else that I really enjoyed throughout my calorie deficit and I really liked were these brand of cheese, the Laughing Cow cheese, because it was hard for me to find a cheese that was low in fat, low in calories, and I still wanted to have cheese as part of my meals. So this brand, it's low in fat, 1.5 grams of fat for one wedge, 25 calories, 1 gram of carb, and had 2 grams of protein. So I would use this like as part of my breakfast, like on toast or on my meals. So that way I could still have my cheese, but I wouldn't feel guilty about having something that's high in fat as well. And then in regards to cheeses, another thing that I would do if I want to just snack on something that was also high in protein and I want a little bit of cheese throughout the day, I would have string cheese. So I would buy this brand, Sargento. It was light string cheese, reduced fat. This string cheese would have only 2.5 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, and less than 1 gram of carb. And I often tell my patients, like, if you don't know how to sneak in protein into your day, just grab a string cheese and start munching on it. And it's a good way to add in protein without having to do a meal or grab a whole snack or make a snack. And you can easily chomp these like on your way to work or if you're at work and you're busy, just grab one from your pocket. So that's something that I really enjoyed when I was trying to lose weight. And then lastly, another thing that I really liked was this Chobani Greek yogurt. And Greek yogurt, I know it's not in everybody's palate, but what I would do, and instead of putting it as like a tasty yogurt bowl with like fruits and honey, that's kind of what I normally see people do, I would use this as a sour cream alternative. So I would like season it with garlic powder and I would put it on like my taco bowls or with ground beef, and it actually tasted really good. And it has a total of 16 grams of protein per serving. So if you're the type of person that has a lot of trouble making it to your protein calorie goal, Greek yogurt could be like your best friend. Because on the days that I was struggling, I would just add this to any meal that I was having, and I knew, boom, I had 16 grams of protein added. Those are my main sources of dairy. So it was basically just like the almond milk, the yogurts, and the cheeses. And that was kind of my dairy staples that I rotated throughout my journey. Alright guys, so now that I mentioned the staples that I kept in my fridge, I also wanted to mention to you guys some of the meals that I did with those products that I just mentioned to help keep myself in a calorie deficit, and some of the things that I enjoyed throughout the whole time that I was in my weight loss journey, and hopefully you guys can recreate yourselves at home. So for breakfast, like I said, it was pretty much the same thing all the time. So for this breakfast right here, it includes an English muffin, egg beaters, the Laughing Cow wedge, and 2 slices of turkey bacon. And that was my go-to meals throughout most of my calorie deficit journey. And like I said, sometimes I would substitute with just a slice of wheat toast, but that was really mainly it. And it had 26 grams of protein, which for me, I'm a big advocate in that you should start your day high in protein, because not only it kickstarts your metabolism, but it keeps you satisfied throughout the day, because protein is very hard for the body to break down. So if you're already starting your day with a high protein meal, it'll help you stay fuller and satiated throughout, at least until lunchtime. And then for lunch, like I said, a lot of the times chicken breasts were kind of my go-to. So this was a meal that I often had like 2, even 3 times a week. And it was very simple to make. It was literally chicken breast, and I would stir fry it with some teriyaki sauce that was low in sodium, low in calories. And I would add some veggies like broccoli, mushrooms, and my 1 cup of rice, because I knew 1 cup of rice was all that I needed to keep myself full and keep myself in a calorie deficit. And then along with this bowl, I would also rotate my lunches with like a ground beef bowl. So in this picture right here, I have a ground beef bowl, and it had like the Verde brand that I showed you guys. So I would have like around 4 ounces, I think that's in this bowl right now. So 4 ounces of ground beef. I would put rice in my 1 cup of rice. I would slice up some veggies. So I think I have like tomato, jalapenos, onions in there. And then to give us an extra protein source, I would use the Greek yogurt, put a little bit of onion powder in it, and use it as a sour cream. So that alone was a huge and nice big protein source meal. It would keep me full right up until dinner, and it was actually really, really good. And my husband actually, he's not a big fan of ground beef bowls, but he actually really enjoyed these as well, and would have it often throughout the week. When it came to dinner, like I said, I would actually get super, super lazy during the dinner time, and I really didn't want to cook anything, especially if I had like long shifts at work. So again, real good chicken was my thing, and I would literally pop them in the air fryer. So here I have them chopped up, and I would toss it up with like lettuce or any low calorie salad dressings that I would use, and that would be honestly my dinner almost every day throughout my calorie deficit. Like that was just my go-to dinner, and I thought it was tasty, again high in protein, low in fat, and it would just keep me well until the next day. So those were honestly like my main meals throughout my whole calorie deficit. So it would either be a chicken breast bowl, a ground beef bowl, my little English muffin breakfast for dinner it would just be my real good chicken with my salad, and to finish it off. And then my snacks in between would be like the yogurt, the protein shakes, or like the chopsticks. Those might be my in-betweens to help me not only stay satisfied, but if I need a little protein kick, those will be my go-tos. And that's all I have for you guys. I know it's super hard when you're on your weight loss journey and you don't know how to make like the best choices sometimes. So I hope this video helps someone in some way or form. And don't forget to comment any other topics you would like me to cover in any upcoming videos. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys.